taught me and my teammates confirming validity. You go out and you work hard and you listen to the message and you go and you go and you go, but at some point you got to confirm what you're being taught works. And for his players, he just wants something good to happen for him. He needs a win to get them to understand that, hey, what we're doing is sound. It will get you to where you want to go. Just keep doing it. And so I'm telling you, yeah, this is not a conference game, but he needs this win for his football team, not for his job or anything like that, but just for the confidence of his football team before he gets into MAC play.
Zane Weber's the kicker for Murray State. He will boot it. Bowling Green won the toss to start the game and elected to defer, so it defended in the first half. Now it will receive to start the second half. A little pooch kick.
Interesting.
Fair catch being called at the 28. Well, Christian Sims, who doubles as a tight end for this team, made the catch.
The receiving team made a fair catch signal. By rule, the ball is placed at the spot of the catch.
It's good to have your good hands people up front, huh?
That's right. And I'd like to see them get Christian Sims involved in the offense more. He is a matchup nightmare. 6'4", 240, but can run. I don't think there's a linebacker on the field for the Racers that can cover him one-on-one. We saw him last week expose the defense. He needs to get involved this week.
Running game of Bowling Green, 16 carries for 44 in the first half. We'll start it off with a pass, which is even better than the run. 88, Christian Sims. Well, didn't you just say something about him?
I'm telling you, super producer Stas Hall has our mics piped into Terry Malone's ear because, watch it. Again, this is not rocket science, guys. He's a big guy who can run. And look at him run away from the defense. He is a weapon. Whenever you have a tight end, that is an extra guy that the defense has to deal with.
Terrion Stewart trying to sneak past the defensive line there and still going with the football, but he didn't gain much. He's not very big, but they're finding him today.
He runs hard, too. The first guy rarely tackles him because of his low center of gravity. And Darnell Victor almost went for a ride, but that's good defense. Watch the edge. Watch Victor scrape. Good job of playing off the block. Now, that's not how you teach tackling, right? But sometimes you get in bad body position. You got to do whatever you got to do to get him to the ground.
Penalty flag on the play. Toss out of the backfield. First down, and maybe a whole lot more. Teron Keith is headed to the end zone. Now the question is, will it stand up?
Boy, oh boy. That's either a procedure penalty or lining up off sides on the defense.
Big moment here.
How about the play by Teron Keith, though?
Yes.
He's exciting with the ball in his hands.
Legal shift. Offense. Two players moving and did not get set. That 5-yard penalty is enforced from the previous spot.
If you're the offensive coordinator, Terry Malone, are you wondering whether the shift had anything to do with the pass and the run?
You know it doesn't. And this is what we talked about, though, right? The mistakes, pre-snap penalties, unforced errors. And I didn't see the second guy shifting. I saw two different guys moving at two different times, but I didn't see two guys moving at the same time. I'm not sure about that one. What an outstanding catch and run by Teron Keith, the redshirt freshman from Deland, Florida. He's got some speed. They got some really good young backs. And if I am Bowling Green Scott Loeffler, I'm a little perplexed about how that flag came out.
Well, circle that play because it will become very important as we get along here in the second half. McDonald with a bullet to the 45-yard line. Ball caught, pick up a 6. And it's Christian Sims now being targeted here in the second half.
Why not? I mean, I think they went in and realized we got to get the ball to 88. Yeah, we got some playmakers on the outside, but we've got a hot quarterback in the middle of the field, hasn't been tested yet. And that guy is the test maker right there. If you don't have people on the inside of that defense, in between the hashes that can cover, and I'm not saying that Murray State doesn't, but if you don't have guys that can cover, he's going to expose them.
Now it's 3rd and 5. Official spot at the 44. 3-man front for Murray State. They'll rush 4. Trying to pick somebody off the edge. McDonald trying to escape and throwing. Got a first down. Got a whole lot more to go with it. Matt McDonald kept that play alive. He was nearly swallowed up in the backfield and was able to find Christian Sims for a catch and run all the way down to about the 30.
When you got a guy at the Y is the tight end, he's a gem for you. But this is all about Matt McDonald. Look at the poise, look at the legs, and look at the throw. On the run, back across his body, but it wasn't late with it, and he didn't put air under it. Watch him zip this pass. That's how you throw it back across the middle. And number 88, folks, I'm just telling you, he's got NFL ability.
They love to run jet sweeps on this team. And this one nearly went to the house. Jalen Embry with perhaps his first carry of the night. From the 30 to the 14 and a pickup of 16.
We haven't seen a lot of the jet sweep action, but you're right. They love to run it because it tests the eyes of the defense. And when defenders begin to look around and see a lot, they run slower. And so now you run the jet sweep, and then you fake it off the next play and run the sister play off of it. So right now, the entire playbook is open for Terry Malone, and he's using it.
Sending Keith in motion, faking the jet sweep. McDonald throwing out of the backfield. Nice safe pass. Ball caught by Tyrone Broden. They'll spot him inside the 10. So it'll be second down.
And there's the sister play we talked about. You're effective with the jet sweep. You get big-time yardage for it. Then you come back with the same look. The defense has to respect it. And then you get a positive play on the outside. Right now, the team in white doesn't really know what's coming because the execution from the team in the orange pants.
Strong opening drive by the Falcons. Will be faced with a 3rd and 5. Just moments into the second half.
Jim, right now, if you're Murray State, yeah, they've moved the ball. And they've made some plays, really nice plays in the execution, but you got one down right now. You got to play defense for one down, keep them out of the end zone, and make them attempt a field goal against a kicker who, yeah, he hit his last one, but he has struggled, right?
Yes.
Forcing a field goal is a huge play right now for the Murray State defense.
Jason Patterson, you mentioned he's a bigger back. In from Jacksonville, Florida, now in the backfield with McDonald on 3rd and 5. Play clock at 2. McDonald gets the play off, got a man to the outside. Good open field tackle.
That's good defense.
Pending on the spot, looks like it's 1st and goal.
Yeah, that's Kavion Holmes. You can't really ask for much better defense, but I think it was slightly better offense because you're going to see a reach of the ball. Watch at the end of the play. Nice job of reaching out and grabbing it. But watch him reach that ball. It's a slight reach, got it across.
Back to the running game, Terrion Stewart. Close to the goal line. A couple of Falcons are down, but everybody for the moment appears to be okay. By the way, it's Kevon Kroom who made that catch for Bowling Green and got the first down. And right now, Stewart a little slow to get back to the huddle. 2nd and goal from the 1. How about this? High formation, always at the goal line. Good setup. Just need a yard. Stewart not going anywhere.
That's great defense. That's a bunch of guys on defense that have pride and don't want that ball to get scored on, especially in the run. And see, this is where having an offense that runs the football in practice every day gives your defense an advantage. I promise you, they see this every day. They see I formation, they see power running every day. So this is nothing new to play really good, sound goal line defense.
McDonald over center, biggest play of the game so far.
I'm keeping the ball in McDonald's hands.
Looking toward the end zone and running. Can he make it? He will. Touchdown.
Football can be very simple if you allow it to be. Let your playmakers make the play. Allow number 3 to make the decisions. He's on fire today. Hasn't made any bad decisions. And that's another great one. Faking with the pump fake, but he knew as soon as he got outside, he had no force defender, that he was going to run that football. Excellent job of decision making by your senior quarterback. Excellent job of play calling by Terry Malone. Don't overthink yourself. Allow your best players to make the plays.
Nate Needham with the 17th point. Falcons back on top. Ben McDonald just avoiding a rush of Green, number 47, getting around the edge into the end zone.
One day, Lanika came through the drive-thru, and I was like, hey, Lanika. And she was like, hey, I have this idea.
I love scanning my Chick-fil-A app. I love building my points. So I decided to redeem 50,000 Chick-fil-A points to feed a shelter.
And I said, I don't think it's ever been done before, but I don't see why not.
They were so appreciative. I never knew it was gonna make that big of an impact. Their bellies were full and they were so happy. I felt so good.
You're just such an awesome person. And
Thank
my
you.
pleasure.
Return to rugged, the all-new ruggedly redesigned 2022 Nissan Pathfinder.
Thanks for having me, Scott.
Of course, Tony. I am such a fan.
Tony! Najee!
You have a handshake. What's going on?
Tony drafted me on his mission to help save school sports.
You drafted him ahead of me.
Well, I wouldn't put it like that.
I might. I thought I was your top draft choice for Mission Tiger.
Definitely. Top 2 in the room.
Top 2. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people in this world.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Top 2 in the room. Just nobody else in the room.
Buy a box. Support the mission.
Raw power is an iron fist. Ram power puts it in a velvet glove. Raw power lifts with its legs. Ram power also lifts with its brains. Raw power gets it done. Ram power does what's never been done before by anyone. Discover Ram power during Ram Power Days.
Right now, get $3,550 in total values or get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2021 Ram 1500.
But as Matt scored moments ago on a scamper on a big play on third down. That, as we mentioned, longtime quarterback at USC, played the National Football League for a number of years. There are 2 quarterbacks on this team that have fathers that play in the NFL. The backup quarterback, George, his dad, Jeff. You were a teammate with him with the Falcons at a number of seasons, including a few with the Indianapolis Colts. And there's a look at Mr. George.
Yeah, his dad, I was just a young rookie on the practice squad, but what I saw was one of the great throwers of the football in the history of the league. Jeff George could spin it, and his release, only thing I saw better was my other former teammate, Dan Marino. Other than Dan Marino, the release of the ball and the prettiness of the spiral would be Jeff George in the history of the game.
Jaden, by the way, spent a little time in Alabama, now with Bowling Green as a backup quarterback here. He's a sophomore. Falcons have regained a lead 17-10. And this drive will start once again for Murray State from its own 25-yard line. During the break, you were saying how good a drive that was for Bowling Green and how necessary it is when you win the coin toss and elect to defer that you start the second half by scoring.
That's right, and it sends a message to your team that we're here to win this game. They're beginning to run the football. You see the play calling is becoming a little more imaginative because the running is working.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 3 of the kicking team. That 15-yard penalty is enforced from the 25-yard line. That is his first. That counts toward disqualification.
And the rule
First
is,
and 10.
it's Art Brown, our MAC official and referee. The rule is, as you take a look at Taylor.
Why? What's that doing? How is that going to help you win this game?
Well, it's got to be on the conversation because he didn't get a push in there.
No, but
assuming it's number 3.
Right, some taunting going on, right?
Okay.
And they're cracking down on it. Right?
Sure.
You saw the other team get a taunting call with their offensive lineman. It's silly. You're looking for your first win. You don't need it. That's not going to help. 40-yard line, Jim. Excuse me.
Sure. Takes the football from the 25 to the 40. Witherspoon is tackled for loss. Flag on the play.
He said that penalties would be an issue in this second half. Unforced errors, silly penalties. The team that executes without hurting themselves is going to have the best chance to win. And right now, both teams are doing a little bit of self-injury here.
Bowling Green had 57 yards of penalties in the first half, 30 for Murray State.
Holding offense, number 67. That penalties declined. The result of the play, second down.
From the left tackle, Jacob Fry. We thought about the final drive of the first half of Murray State. What a disaster that was. This is not a good start to the second half either.
Don't beat yourself. First rule of winning is you can't beat yourself.
Well, tennis is not the only game that has unforced errors, right?
Right.
There are a few here in football, certainly. Rice on first down, setting up an inside screen, and that's going nowhere. Up to make the tackle, number 5, Cy Dabney, who had a strong first half.
Yeah, he's been very active. And as we see that they're making a concentrated effort to get blockers on number 23, Darren Anders. He's been very quiet, but the other guys are stepping up. And we talked about being sound on the perimeter. Murray State likes to get the ball in the perimeter and make their big plays. So far, so good on the perimeter of this defense.
Yes, surprisingly, Dabney leads Bowling Green in tackles in this game. He's got 4. Darren Anders with 3. 3rd and 13. Rice looking for the first down pickup. And is it caught? No, ball dropped. Right in the hands of Malik Honeycutt, who should have had it.
That's another unforced error. There's no reason to drop that ball. I love the poise from Preston Rice. Threw a very catchable ball. Good route coming across. He drifted a little bit, but that's fine. Catch that ball. Come on. Now, there's no defender harassing you there. He knows it. He's sick. That's a missed opportunity for this Racer offense because you'd have had the ball on the plus side of the 50, 1st and 10.
And that means Lewis Halton is on the punt for Murray State. Line of scrimmage to 37. Got close to blocking. He is down now. Flags on the play. Well, last week, Bowling Green had a pick 6 and a blocked punt for 2 points. Didn't get to the kicker, though.
There's no foul for running into the kicker. 1st and 10.
Halton went down, but didn't get the call.
Running the kicker because the ball was tipped.
And because the ball was tipped.
Wow, and I saw the ball move. Yes, that is the right call. Excellent job by the officials to get together and talk themselves through it.
I want to say that was Cy Dabney and special teams that got a hold of the ball.
Boy, he's shown up big time this game.
And good field position now for the Falcons from their own 37 with 8 and change remaining in the 3rd quarter. Bowling Green regaining lead here in the 2nd half on a touchdown run by Matt McDonald.
I know this is still early in the game, partner, but this is a very crucial drive for the Murray State defense. They have got to find a way to get this team off the field with a punt.
Another flag on the play.
Or a turnover. Turnover helps too.
Sure. This time the line judge threw up the laundry.
Another penalty. Don't know if it's unforced or not.
Legal shift.
Unforced.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
So what's happening here? The one that negated Teron Keith's long catch and run for touchdown was an illegal shift as well.
I don't think that illegal shift was the proper call, but guess what? It was called. I'd like to see this one again. I don't know. But you just can't have pre-snap penalties. I mean, there's no reason for it.
Mid-American Conference officiating crew here for this game between FCS and FBS opponents. About halfway through the 3rd, ball loose, and McDonald going to have to swallow it up at the 27-yard line.
Look, Bowling Green has a true walk-on freshman at center, right? And we said, I've never seen a true walk-on start, and here's the last play. Let's see if we can see the illegal shift. You should be seeing 2 guys moving.
You got a lineman, no? Does that count?
No. Well, but the other guy's going lateral. He can get in a 3-point stance. Yeah, I'm not sure of that one. Now, you know, maybe I'm not up on the rule, but to me, that is not an illegal shift penalty. But again, you got a true freshman center, right? Not a lot of football being played. You're seeing the snaps come low.
McDonald out of the backfield gets rid of it at the last moment. Intended for Christian Sims, who he has found as a favorite receiver here in the 2nd half. Now it's 3rd and 20 in the penalties, setting them back this drive. Take a look at their drive chart. Started with a touchdown on a short field off a pick, then a punt, then a field goal on a 14-play drive, obviously their best. Since then, a pick, a punt, and then a strong drive to start the 2nd half, 11 rushes or 11 plays, 71 yards.
So it's sort of up and down every other drive. It's not shocking to me with such a young and inexperienced team. And it looks like this might be another down as you see a holding is going to get called against multiple players in the backfield.
McDonald is very close to picking up the first down, but that's not going to matter. He carried for 20 yards. And look how frustrated he is off the play. And he knows how youthful this group is. And none the same.
Personal foul, shot block, offense, number 72 and 28. That penalty enforced half the distance to the goal line, 3rd down.
Cade Zimmerly, 72.
2 true freshmen combined combining on this. Chop block means there's one guy engaging high and one guy going low. And you see the back now going low as the center, Cade Zimmerly, is engaged. Here it is right here. This very dangerous play. He comes off. And look, it's a bang-bang deal. Did he even hit him? I'm not even sure he made contact. He went for the block. I know the ref is anticipating.
So the penalty was on Patterson and Zimmerly.
Yeah,
right?
they two true freshmen combining for a big penalty as it sets back this offense.
3rd and 34. So not much is going to happen on this play. And Bowling Green, as Murray State did to close out the first half, is going backwards.
3rd and Detroit is
yes.
what that was.
Look at this, 92 yards of penalties in this game. 92 a game, second worst in the MAC coming in.
Both teams had penalty issues coming in.
So is that a youth thing?
It is a youth thing. There's no question about it. But it's also a discipline thing. You got to know in tight ball games, just do it the way you're taught. But we talked about Murray State having to show up big defensively. This all counts. Punt from backed up. This is a great job by the defense.
Aranjo, good punt. Carrying all the way to the 42-yard line. It's a punt of 43 yards and no return. 6 to go in the third quarter. Still, this game very much up for grabs.
Hey, Neil, with 3% cash back at drugstores from Chase Freedom Unlimited, you're always earning. I got this great shampoo you should try.
Yeah, you look good.
Of course I do, Neil. I'm Kevin Hart. Earn 3% at drugstores and so much more. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Dear Mainland, aloha.
Are you there?
My brother and I notice you're always worried about how many bars you have.
I'm in a dead spot.
Maybe you just need one bar, yeah?
You're frozen. I can't.
Another big wave, please. One life, right?
I can see you.
Mahalo.
Can't hear you.
Return to Rugger. New Nissan Pathfinder.
Crisis can happen unexpectedly to anyone. And though it may seem like a small barrier, a simple lock puts space between the thought and the trigger. Learn how securing your guns can help prevent suicide.
Today, you have to deal with a lot of moving parts. You want everything to be on autopilot.
I got a huge increase in orders, but it's nothing
and to be prepared if anything changes.
I'll be right in.
With IBM, you can do both. Your business can bring data together across your clouds, from suppliers to shippers to the factory floor. So whatever comes your way, the wheels keep moving, seamlessly modernizing your operations. That's why so many businesses work with IBM.
Nice work, everyone.
You know what beats next day shipping? Getting it the same day. So shop Ace online and get free in-store or curbside pickup right in your neighborhood. Or get what you need delivered the very same day you order.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I thought I was managing my moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Then I realized something was missing. Me. My symptoms were keeping me from being there for her. So I talked to my doctor and learned Humira is the #1 prescribed biologic for people with Crohn's disease. The majority of people on Humira saw significant symptom relief in as little as 4 weeks, and many achieve remission that can last.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, remission is possible.
Came into this game as the leader in touchdowns in rushing in the country. They have held him in check, running the ball 5 times for a yard and 5 of 12 throwing the ball. I wonder how much Rice will be a factor, though, when we get to the fourth quarter, and will he have to pitch it downfield to have a chance?
Well, he's still a playmaker. That hasn't changed, right? And you know, you're still in this ball game. It's only a 7-point game. They're fine. They got outstanding field position. But what an outstanding play by Davon Ferguson on that last one. I cannot let that play go. Ferguson, number 7. This guy is really jumping off your field and making a terrific amount of plays. Such an amazing player because, again, he's a special teams player. He's in a return game. He can cover, and, boy, he can support that run.
Not sure if a helmet came off, and one of the Falcons had to head to the sidelines by NCAA rule. That's the case. That it's the offensive guard, Matt Fortner. Check that, Anthony Hawkins, defensive lineman.
Well, look, I mean, they had an opportunity with this field position, and they're not taking advantage of it. Now you're looking at 3rd and 10, which is like kryptonite to this offense, but just a little bit off on that out route to your tight end, Jake Satoff, and that puts this team behind the sticks.
Rice is now 5 of 13. That's a bit surprising.
You give a lot of credit to Eric Lewis. They knew who they had to contain coming into this ball game. They've got some playmakers, there's no question about it. But this offense starts and ends with number 5, and they've done a great job of containing him.
Rice going to be short of the sticks, even if the ball is caught, and it is in midfield. Now a decision to be made by head coach Dean Hood on 4th and 2.
I think you got to punt this ball.
Really?
Yeah, I do, because you're playing the field position game right now. You're not in a hurry to win this game in the 3rd quarter. You want to take this into the 4th quarter somewhere where it is now, 1-possession game. No need to give this offense the ball at midfield. Let's punt them backed up, pin them, play good defense, and restart this thing again.
And Lewis Halton will do just that. Unless there's a fake. Gets rid of it. Ball will bounce at the 20. Not a particularly long kick. Just 28 yards.
Media timeout.
4:38 remaining in the 3rd. Bowling Green back to work in a moment.
Oh my. With Chase Freedom Unlimited, I earn all this cash back? Oh, I gotta tell everyone. Hey, Rita, you can earn 3% on dining, including takeout.
Bon appetit.
Hey, Kim, you earn 5% on travel purchase through Chase.
Way ahead of you.
Hey, Neil, you can earn 3% at drugstores.
Buddy, I'm right here. Why are you yelling?
Because that's what I do. You're always earning with 5% cash back on travel purchased through Chase. 3% at drugstores, 3% on dining, including takeout, and 1.5% on everything else you buy. Chase, make more of what's yours.
At Burger King, we've banned 120 artificial ingredients from our food.
Yep.
We keep it real.
That's why I'm here.
That's why we dropped rap superstar Nelly.
Wait, what?
And chose the real you, Cornell Haynes Jr., to create his own custom meal.
They let you create your own meal? Yes, they did, Nelly. When you got real food, you need real people. How much they paying you for this? Don't worry about it, champ. We got the same bank account. Yeah.
Try the Cornell Haynes Jr. meal. Food so real, Burger King had Nelly put his real name on it.
Is it me or is it getting hot in here? Just a flame grill.
I thought I was managing my moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Then I realized something was missing. Me. My symptoms were keeping me from being there for her. So I talked to my doctor and learned Humira is the #1 prescribed biologic for people with Crohn's disease. The majority of people on Humira saw significant symptom relief in as little as 4 weeks, and many achieved remission that can last.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, remission is possible.
I'll say plethora of games. Partner here will be up in Kalamazoo, Derek Jeter country for Western Michigan. San Jose State, Western with a huge upset today over Pitt. I'll see Central Michigan against FIU. Back to live action, and McDonald with a rocket with a pickup 11 and a first down to bench, I believe. Or was that Broden?
Yeah,
that's like Tyrone Broden got it.
I mean, he really reached out and got it. That's that catch radius we were talking about. 6'4", 200-pound sophomore with long arms. He's got a really bright future. That's great execution right there on the slant. Or post, excuse me.
Yep, and to the 33 of the Falcons, protecting a 7-point lead. McDonald looked to his left, throws, got a man wide open. Levi Gazarek with a catch. He is close to the marker, and now McDonald starting to open things up a little bit.
Yeah, Levi's a young backup tight end, just a freshman. But what you saw there was Matt McDonald go through his progressions, and that's an outstanding job by the offensive line, giving them time to scan that field and get that ball out.
Now, we mentioned Western's upset, and on cue, Dr. John Steinbrecher, the commissioner, popped in our booth. Happy about the 44-41 Western win today, but said we need more of those.
Right.
And for the record, now 2 Power 5 victories this year. Wins over Power 5 teams as Northern beat Georgia Tech, and today, a win by Western over the Panthers.
Yeah, that's big. 2 wins against Power 5 for a conference that always seem to be fighting for respect when they shouldn't be. I mean, they've got a tremendous history, and they're a very good conference that produces NFL players on the regular.
McDonald will keep. Run out of bounds just past midfield. Pretty good coverage on the defensive side for Murray State, as Matt didn't see anybody open, and he swallowed up the ball.
Yeah, it was, but again, he gets 5 yards or 4 yards because of the decision making. Young quarterbacks need to understand, take what the defense gives you. And sometimes it gives you a 4-yard scramble. You don't have to play Johnny Unitas and try to make every throw against tight coverage. Sometimes you just get positive yards and stay ahead of the sticks.
Second down. Play fake McDonald. Nobody to throw to for the moment. Now he's got a man. High school teammate Austin Osborne.
You called it. Flex on him again, 18. You called it high school teammate. That was Sandlot football, okay? Watch Austin run a 12-yard curl, okay? But then he sees his quarterback scramble, and he runs with them and creates the opening throwing lane for his quarterback. Those are 2 guys that are on the same page because they've been doing it since the crib.
Well said, in the Sandlot play, nails 33 yards. Back to Patterson, straight ahead. He's a powerful runner. And the passing game is starting to open up the running game a bit.
And what do we mean by Sandlot football? That means you got guys who have the confidence of doing the X's and O's the way your offensive coordinator Terry Malone teaches it, but then when things break down, you're not robots. You don't just stand there and get tackled. You then improvise. As long as everyone's on the same page doing the same thing, you can make a big play out of it.
In the red zone now from the 9-yard line on 2nd and 4. Under 2 minutes, third quarter. Patterson straight ahead with the front 4 of Murray State there to meet him.
That was Maurice Green. That was a tremendous play by Green of stacking the offensive lineman, disengaging and making a play all by himself. The entire team in white could have been on the sidelines with 47 making a play by himself because of the penetration and disengaging of the blocker. That's a nice play by a backup defensive end.
Yes. Last week, head coach Scott Loeffler said that when he went to a gadget play, threatening to make it a 2-score game in South Alabama was a mistake on his part. Here, they settle for a field goal. They'll be up 2 scores with a minute to go in the third quarter. McDonald would prefer a touchdown, though. But he's in trouble and he's sacked. Back near the 20-yard line. Still field goal range, however, for Needham as Levi Matheny came up from his will linebacker spot.
One of the few mistakes here. This is where the ball's got to come out. This is great initial pressure. Okay, now you're out of pocket. Just throw the ball away. Okay, we don't need to hold on to the ball and take a sack there because it's deflating for your offensive line. The offensive line has played well. And now you're backing up your kicker. It's not horrific, but I'd like to see that ball being thrown out of bounds and make this an easy chip shot for your kicker.
Nate Needham has one already from 43. This will be from 36. From the left hash and a chance to go up 10 again. So it's just a handful of seconds remaining in the third quarter. Back to a 2-score lead. What did Scott Loeffler tell us during the week? He says, I learned a little bit from taking a chance in that second game. He said, if I had to do it over again, I wouldn't. And, of course, here, they settle for the right call, line up a field goal, and now they're back by 2 scores.
Well, to me, that's a sign of a really good coach who can admit his mistakes, because I guarantee you, if he said it to us, he probably said it to his players. And when you, as a player, when you hear your coach be honest and vulnerable with you like that, that just brings the team closer. It makes you trust him. It's not him against us. We're in this together. So I appreciated hearing that from as a former player, because it resonated with me. But, those are things you learn from, right? He's going to get better as a coach. Every game he puts it in his resume and learns from it.
This is a game Bowling Green really expects to get because 2 tough games on the road coming up. Then home to Akron, up to the Chicago area against Northern. They'll see down the stretch Buffalo and Toledo and Eastern Michigan. First time today or tonight, a returnable kick. And so with seconds remaining, Racers will start beyond the 25-yard line on the return by Thompson.
Murray State's got to get this run game going. Still the third quarter. It's not too late. Everything you do starts with the running game, both with your backs and your quarterback. The offensive line is still big. I guarantee they didn't lose weight, all right, in the halftime locker room. They still have the advantage. Let's get them going again, and then that will start to open things up for you.
Rice has had a subpar game throwing it, and he has done nothing running it yet. Last play, third quarter, barring a penalty. And that is a tackle for loss. Darren Anders, remember him?
I do. And the tackle tally is starting to mount up. He just hasn't made a whole bunch of impactful plays, but that was one of them.
Fourth quarter coming up. Anders, one of the outstanding performers in the first 2 games. Here on Homecoming's had a modest afternoon, but Matt McDonald's picked up on offense, and Davon Ferguson, how good has he been on defense?
Wow, it really turned out great.
Yeah, and with the money we saved with Navy Federal Credit Union, it was practically free.
You know, I can't imagine where we'd be without them.
Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Today we're in Carolina Beach, making a Twisted Tea drop. We're surprising real Twisted Tea fans who love the smooth and refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Get your own Twisted Tea drop. Keep it twisted.
Crisis can happen unexpectedly to anyone, and though it may seem like a small barrier, a simple lock puts space between the thought and the trigger. Learn how securing your guns can help prevent suicide.
I thought I was managing my moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Then I realized something was missing. Me. My symptoms were keeping me from being there for her. So I talked to my doctor and learned Humira is the #1 prescribed biologic for people with Crohn's disease. The majority of people on Humira saw significant symptom relief in as little as 4 weeks, and many achieved remission that can last.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, remission is possible.
Today, you want things to be on autopilot
Huge increase in orders.
and to be prepared for changes.
I'll be right in.
With IBM, you can do both. Bringing data together across clouds helps you modernize operations so you can keep those wheels moving.
Nice work, guys.
Your family has Cox Home Life, so you could see what's outside. But you're not thinking about that. You're thinking,
it's not that scary.
You're thinking how nice it is that your sister finally says you're big enough to watch this movie with her. You're not thinking about what's outside.
Cox Home Life, show driveway camera.
Well, maybe just a little. Stay close to the moments that matter. Cox Home Life will help take care of the rest.
Play.
Control your cameras and more with your Contour TV and Cox Home Life.
Schedule, something unusual about it. The fact is they'll play SEMO, Southeast Missouri, and Eastern Illinois twice in a season. There's only one FBS team that has that. Rice is down back at the 10-yard line. Horn and Anders into attack.
Look at Horn. That's just a straight blitz, unblocked. And I think number 18, Rodney Castile, missed his block. And when you miss your block, you're going to see a quarterback looking like that, trying to figure out what happened. But we've mentioned number 34, Brock Horn, many times in this game. He's showing up as a backup defensive linebacker, excuse me.
Holding defense, number 7. That 10-yard penalty is enforced from the previous spot.
There's a huge break.
Second down. Correction, 4th down.
Because instead of the ball being pinned back up against the goalpost, ball will be moved close to the 35-yard line, I believe.
The official said 4th down. Now,
down marker shouldn't move, should it?
No, I think that should stay 3rd.
Correction, it is 2nd down.
2nd down. Okay. We'll get it right.
Well, the yard marker says 3rd, so we split the difference, I think.
I think they were trying to move it forward.
And now it's 2nd.
Yeah. Okay, well, another penalty, another mistake. Both teams continue to make them. So far, Bowling Green has been able to overcome theirs a little bit more than the Racers have.
New Mexico State, one of the few teams that's played an opponent twice in a season. When you play Hawaii, I believe you're allowed an extra game. So the season this year in FBS play against Hawaii allows for a game on the mainland or in Hawaii and then back here in the States without counting against your number.
Interesting.
3rd and 1.
Huge play here.
Yep. Back to the running back. And that'll be enough for a 1st down. Falcons get excited about making a stop, but the outside judge says 1st down to the 37. Let's move the chains.
That was Castile one-on-one in the hole versus Anders. And I'm not going to say he won it because all he needed was about a half a yard. So it's good enough. But the meeting in the hole was nice. A little sugar huddle right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice block. Oh, that's a pancake. They'll take that.
1st down from the 37. That's the backup QB, I believe, carried the football on that play as Rice returns.
There's Darren Anders making another play. And if he did not make that, there would have been some room to run because the offensive line had pushed that defensive line off the ball, but they didn't get off onto Anders, and he comes up and makes the play as he should for just a 2-yard gain.
DJ Williams got a yard on the play. He's back to the sidelines. Rice is back in the game with 4 receivers. Ball loose. Rice somehow comes out of it. Still in trouble. Still throws it away.
Well, he's living dangerous there with stopping and throwing that ball away after the pump.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside. Ball made it beyond the line of scrimmage.
That's on the quarterback. I think that snap was pretty good. He just sort of muffed the snap, and now it's Sandlot football, and he's lucky there he didn't get hit when he stopped right there.
And a smart play to throw it away. Otherwise, he's sacked for a loss of 7 or 8.
Yeah, but boy, I'm telling you, that backside was coming.
Oh, yes.
3rd and long. Again, we've said it all day. This is not where the Racer offense wants to be. Let's see if they can find a way to convert this.
Must get the football to its own 47. Into coverage. Double coverage broken up.
Well, it was an almost pretty good throw into coverage. Watch him get him over the underneath defender into the hands of the receiver, but watch Dabney come back and knock that ball out. As a DB, you have to finish the play. Separate the ball from the wide receiver. Look at that. Great job by Dabney by not going through the receiver's back, going over the top and knocking that ball down.
How about the stretch by 21 Marcus Shepard, too?
Yeah, he got his hand on it as well. And it still was really good concentration by the receiver, Brooks, but better play by the defense. Another penalty.
Sometimes the penalties resemble a first season game as opposed to week 3.
Number 19, that 5-yard penalty.
Dean Hood, the head coach of Murray State, would like an explanation. He's not buying it. And he's talking to the referee now, Art Brown.
They had 8 penalties last week against Cincinnati, and I mean, certainly you won't make an excuse, but Cincinnati is an excellent ball club, right? And they got a lot of athletes, and sometimes when you're outmanned, you're going to see more penalties, but this penalty thing is an issue for both teams.
Sure. Good punt, though. Inside the 20. Falcons with the football, protecting a 2-score lead with 12:39 remaining in the football game. Embry on the return, and now Bowling Green could use a long drive to ice the game.
Media timeout.
Guys.
Get 2 of your faves for just $6, like 2 orders of 10-piece McNuggets only at McDonald's.
I thought I was managing my moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Then I realized something was missing. Me. My symptoms were keeping me from being there for her. So I talked to my doctor and learned Humira is the #1 prescribed biologic for people with Crohn's disease. The majority of people on Humira saw significant symptom relief in as little as 4 weeks, and many achieved remission that can last.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, remission is possible.
Raw power is an iron fist. Ram power puts it in a velvet glove. Raw power lifts with its legs. Ram power also lifts with its brains. Raw power gets it done. Ram power does what's never been done before by anyone. Discover Ram Power during Ram Power Days.
Right now, get $3,550 in total values or get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2021 Ram 1500.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, man.
What's wrong with action figures?
Nothing, except buying them without Capital One Shopping.
What's that, Samuel, Mr. L. Jackson?
Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them. Just download it to your computer.
Whoa, you're my hero.
Yeah, I can tell.
You like it?
I look good in miniature. Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius.
What's in your wallet?
I don't say it like that, Devin.
How huge would that have been?
31-29. Back to live action. Bowling Green protecting a 10-point lead, but not sitting on the ball, which is wise. On the toss to Austin Osborne, out of bounds for the Falcons.
How productive has he been this year? That's a guy who only had 1 career catch coming into the season.
Bowling Green has lost its last 10. Last season was half a season, just 6 Mid-American Conference games in November and December. Went winless there, so you have to go back to November 2nd of 2019. And if you're planning to rebuild a program, this is one that Scott Loeffler's got to get.
You need it. You need it at home. Homecoming.
2nd and 2, enough for the first down. That means you can eat up a couple of more minutes with 12 minutes remaining in the game.
If I'm Murray State, I'm looking for leaders now. We need some guys who aren't scoreboard watching, but trying to make plays to give their team a chance. This game is not over.
Got to strip the ball, I would think. That might be significant.
That would help. A turnover would be huge for sure. But no matter what, I've got to find a way to get a stop and get off the field.
See how much of the clock, the play clock, is going to be utilized by Bowling Green here as it dips under 10. McDonald from the shotgun with a strike. And on first down, this goes for 8. Kevon Kroom, that's his 2nd catch of the game. Right now, the game is in Bowling Green's hands, certainly.
And it's because the ball is in number 3's hands.
Yeah.
Mac McDonald right now is in perfect rhythm. And if you don't get a rush on this guy and he's allowed to stand in the pocket and scan your defense, you can forget about it.
Chance to pick up another first down, use some more clock. That's exactly what's happening. Run or throw for big yards on first down, then hand the ball off to Patterson on 2nd down.
let's give some love to this Bowling Green offensive line. We talked about how young they are and how challenged they are, but right now, they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And the payoff, the potential of a victory, is under 11 minutes away. Heartbreaking loss last week. Leffler said felt like I lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's win or death. That's all it is in football.
Sure. McDonald, short, safe pass underneath coverage. As good as a run, good for 4. More importantly, clock keeps moving.
You're right. You called it. It is as good as a run. Very safe. And the crossing routes for that guy, 18, has been there all day. We watched him run across the field open with accurate passes.
Austin Osborne, again, he played at Mission Viejo, California in high school with Matt McDonald. Back to the run, that's a first down. That's a whole lot more for Embry. Check that Mosley, Nick Mosley, the ball carrier. And Mosley carries down to the 22.
Watch the hole. Watch it open up for him. Look at the trap block. Yeah, look at that. I mean, there it is. There's no defender. When you've got a 4-yard wide hole, anybody can run through it, maybe even you.
No.
No? I don't know.
I appreciate the love, though.
I like your honesty.
Yes. Going to be a timeout called right here by Bowling Green with 9:16 to go. Very much in command right now.
Timeout.
Just outside the red zone and up 10, trying to win for the first time in a couple of seasons.
That's poison ivy.
I thought I was managing my moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Then I realized something was missing. Me. My symptoms were keeping me from being there for her. So I talked to my doctor and learned Humira is the #1 prescribed biologic for people with Crohn's disease. The majority of people on Humira saw significant symptom relief in as little as 4 weeks, and many achieved remission that can last.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, remission is possible.
Crisis can happen unexpectedly to anyone, and though it may seem like a small barrier, a simple lock puts space between the thought and the trigger. Learn how securing your guns can help prevent suicide.
Larry H. Miller dealerships want your car. We're buying from you during the big buyback. Used cars are in demand. We're paying really big money. Don't waste time trying to sell your car yourself. We'll buy it on the spot and pay you today. With over 60 dealerships all buying, there has never been a better time to sell your car. The big buyback at Larry H. Miller dealerships, online at lhmauto.com. Driven by you.
The deal. McDonald with a fake out of the backfield. Nice safe pass to who else? Austin Osborne.
Boy, he's been great. He's been great catching the football today, but the bootleg action has been a tremendous play because they have yet to solve that problem. They're faking the run, bringing the bootleg, and a lot of times you bring a tight end out to catch that, but that's your receiver with speed, and he's got 6 catches for 52 yards. Not a lot of yards, but, man, very productive with the receptions.
Lots of good safe calls here, and they're throwing on first down, running on second. Moving the chains again. It'll be first and goal, and a touchdown here is going to seal the deal.
We talked about football being a game of attrition. Number 28 Jason Patterson is the third string running back. I mean, that's at least 4 backs who've carried the ball. That wears on your defense. There's quality depth in that FBS roster, and it's rearing its head right now.
Doesn't feel like a third string running back, does he? Or
No.
look like one?
And he's a true freshman. He's 6 foot, 215 pounds. He's got a bright future himself. Look at that body. Hasn't even had an off-season workout under his belt, right? He's just going to get bigger, stronger, and faster. Look at the offensive line. That's a great job of coming off unblocked. The blitzer there off the edge, number 37, Lawan Powell. And so you're seeing now Murray State try to blitz to stop the run because their defensive line is getting handled up front.
Well, we thought if any O-line might make the difference in this game, it'd be Murray State,
Right.
not Bowling Green because of its youth.
Right.
Off the high snap, quarterback keep. Brings up a 3rd down. If they have to kick a field goal, it's not a killer. It would bump the lead to 2 touchdowns, but
Still
a
2
touchdown
possessions.
and an extra point.
Yeah.
And the Racers would have to score 3 times to have a chance.
And so we've seen Dylan Sanders, the defensive coordinator for the Murray State Racers, get aggressive in the red zone, and I like it because he knows how important it is to keep Bowling Green out of the end zone in this possession.
Another play fake here, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, whatever it's going to take to keep the ball in number 3's hands. I like getting him on the perimeter with a run-pass option, but it's no need to do anything spectacular. There it is on the edge.
Got a man wide open. That's a touchdown. Deron Keith has really entered in this game in the second half, and that should do it for Bowling Green.
We saw Keith now take the place of Osborne with the same bootleg action, and he's wide open. That's an equation that has yet to be solved by the Racer defense. There's the fake of the jet sweep, and look at number 19 leak out, and there's nobody there. I mean, that has been an issue all day. They have not been able to adjust to the bootleg, and it cost them a touchdown there, a very costly touchdown.
Do you feel that FBS and its strength in numbers is weighing down FCS here?
Sure, because of the depth, the quality depth. Listen, there are plenty of players on each side of this sideline, right? The question is, how quality is your depth in the second and third string? And FBS generally are going to have better quality depth as you get past the first line of starters.
Haven't seen a lot of handshakes and celebrations on this sideline in a couple of years, have we?
Right.
One day, Lanika came through the drive-thru, and I was like, "Hey, Lanika," and she was like, "Hey, I have this idea."
I love scanning my Chick-fil-A app. I love building my points. So I decided to redeem 50,000 Chick-fil-A points to feed a shelter.
And I said, "I don't think it's ever been done before, but I don't see why not."
They were so appreciative. I never knew it was gonna make that big of an impact. Their bellies were full and they were so happy. I felt so good.
You're just such an awesome person. And
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Wealth is breaking ground on your biggest project yet. Worth is giving the people who build it a solid foundation. Wealth is shutting down the office for Mike's retirement party. Worth is giving the employee who spent half his life with you the party of a lifetime. Wealth is watching your business grow. Worth is watching your employees grow with it. Principal, for all it's worth.
Poison ivy.
All hail the Masked Singer. Who's behind the mask?
Off with their head.
No way! Premieres Wednesday at 7 on Fox 10.
Fox is reinventing the singing competition again.
It's mind-blowing technology.
What are you waiting for?
I didn't like it. I loved it. Thank you.
Premieres Wednesday at 8 on Fox 10.
We're gonna spread the vodka. And then we're gonna light the vodka.
Not the best cooking video. At least you can watch it on the best.
Pizza?
Pizza. I'm okay.
Cox Internet, #1 for streaming video, according to Nielsen data.
Here's our game summary. Score by quarters. Bowling Green has put points on the board in each quarter. Murray State's scoring came all in the second. The defense of Eric Lewis and Bowling Green has really stymied Preston Rice today. Just 6 of 16 in the air, 64 yards and a pick. He is been held to nothing on the ground. And of course, Matt McDonald solid for a second week in a row, 22 of 28 for 221 and a touchdown. And that long losing streak is about to come to an end. For Dean Hood's team, unless something improbable happens, they'll regroup with a week off and get ready to go on the road in the OVC. Good open field tackle there before things got out of hand. As Ethan Thompson, number 18, returns. So now for Preston Rice, they got to put the ball in the air. That's a no-brainer, right?
I think they do. But you got to be careful, right? I mean, he's not, let's be honest, he's not Matt McDonald. I mean, he's not going to sit back in that pocket and throw you to a comeback. And look at his hit. Whew, boy, right on that knee. I'm glad he held on to that football. I've seen balls come out on lesser hits than that.
Every down seems like a passing down now for Murray State. Rice the throw on first down. Clock will continue to move as we dip under 7 remaining in this game.
Got to go tempo here. Be smart with the football. Plays coming in from the sidelines with signals. He's reading his armband, but I'd like to see him hurry up a little bit quicker than this. This is no huddle, but I think they can speed it up a little bit more.
Yeah, I think it's 2 minute conversion time, isn't it? 2 minute drill.
Yeah, because the clock is now an enemy. Rice missed that one. He had it, and he's upset with himself. I would like to see that route. I don't know if he drifted downfield in that route, cut it off, or didn't cut it off sharp enough, but that's a play you got to hit, especially when the team knows you're going to throw the football. You had a nice throwing lane and a nice chance to make that completion on the sideline.
Intended for number 2, Malik Honeycutt. Still have a couple of downs to pick up 4 yards. As every down now becomes pretty important. Rice faking, trying to find an open receiver, Honeycutt, and he caught it. Malik Honeycutt, flag on the play. It's likely going to be defensive pass interference. Nice catch by Malik, who had a drop earlier in the game.
It was a nice catch, and it was a really good job of improvising as well. We talked about Bowling Green with improvisation. Easy for you to say. Bowling Green with improvisation. But that was a nice job by Rice and Malik, because that was an out route, and when he saw his quarterback scramble, he turned it into an out and up, and that was a really nice ball, getting it up.
Personal foul,
get it.
Face mask, defense number 3. That 15-yard penalty is enforced from the end of the run. First down.
That's even better than pass interference, which I thought it was, because that's going to add 15 onto the catch and run.
That ball was thrown a little bit behind him, but great job of adjusting to the ball by Malik Honeycutt.
That was a face mask and take off the helmet at the same time play. Now the football into Bowling Green territory with 6:19 to go. Ball at the 44. Fresh set of downs for Rice. Flushed down the pocket. Going to throw at the last minute. Ball is dropped. It was a tough catch, though, really, for Rodney Castile, because that was thrown low and at the last moment.
Yeah, but guess what? Tough is a part of the deal. This comeback you're trying is very tough.
So you're not buying what I'm saying?
No, I mean, come on, man. We're trying to get a win on the road against an FBS team, and that was still catchable. I was always told if both your hands hit it, you got to catch it.
All right, I'll defer to you there.
That might be the first time tonight.
Yes. Clock stopping with 6:08 to go. Second down for Rice, in a whole lot of trouble. Now flushed out, going to fire down the field. Got a man, and it got picked off. Dabney came out of nowhere at the last moment. Pick it off for the Falcons. And that should, if it hasn't already, seal the game for Bowling Green.
Cy Dabney baited him into that throw. And this is, we talked to Murray State offensive coordinator Ben Hodges. When Rice does get in trouble, what does he do? He tries to do too much. And I know he's trying to make a comeback here, but Cy Dabney's reading that all the way. And what I want from your wide receivers is come back to that ball. Don't stand there and wait for it. This is not high school. Come back and make a play on that ball. They're guys who have scholarships for intercepting the ball. And so you need to give your quarterback a chance by coming back and making a play on that. So, I'll take a little bit off of Rice there. His wide receiver sort of left him out to dry.
Football back at the 12 now. Just run the ball and force the Racers to use a timeout or two, and now there's a penalty flag on the play.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 45. That 15-yard penalty is enforced from the end of the run.
So from the 12 and a first down up close to the 30. And right now, Murray State will use a timeout.
Timeout. Murray State.
That's the first of three. The time is running out on the Racers.
One day, Lanika came through the drive-thru, and I was like, hey, Lanika. And she was like, hey, I have this idea.
I love scanning my Chick-fil-A app. I love building my points. So I decided to redeem 50,000 Chick-fil-A points to feed a shelter.
And I said, I don't think it's ever been done before, but I don't see why not.
They were so appreciative. I never knew it was gonna make that big of an impact. Their bellies were full and they were so happy. I felt so good.
You're just such an awesome person. And
Thank you.
My pleasure.
I thought I was managing my moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Then I realized something was missing. Me. My symptoms were keeping me from being there for her. So I talked to my doctor and learned Humira is the #1 prescribed biologic for people with Crohn's disease. The majority of people on Humira saw significant symptom relief in as little as 4 weeks, and many achieved remission that can last.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, remission is possible.
Can you get this? I don't have my wallet.
Oh, really? It's funny how that always happens.
Yeah, it's funny. With BMO Harris, you don't need your wallet. You can get money from any BMO ATM using your phone.
Uh-oh, looks like someone can buy their own tacos.
You could also pay them back with Zelle.
So many ways for you to pay.
Awesome.
Order for BMO.
Ooh, tacos, banking. Some things are made to be mobile.
When your phone is your wallet. That's the BMO effect. And right now, you can open a new BMO Harris account online in just minutes and get a $300 bonus.
2 to go. Jim Barber and Tioka Jackson. We're going to put him up to a teaching moment here in a moment to show the pickoff moments ago by Dabney. As the Falcons now will kill clock. And let's go back to the last play where you thought the wide receiver Honeycutt should have done a little more for Murray State.
Yeah, if you got some young wide receivers watching this. Okay, so right now the quarterback scramble, right? And Honeycutt sees it. He adjusts his route. Great. Turns the DB around. Now you've got room. Got your hand up. Now come finish the play. Come get the ball. Don't stop and wait because the defense isn't. That's a nice job by Cy Dabney. But your receiver has got to come back and fight for that ball. That's something that he's a fifth-year senior. Honeycutt should know better. But that's something when they show on the film tomorrow, the entire wide receiver room will learn from that.
And the defense with another pick for Bowling Green. Eric Lewis, their coordinator, up in the booth, has to be pleased. That's the special teams coach over there, by the way. And a longtime friend of yours.
Yeah. Coach Ligashevsky. Ligashevsky's been around. He's coached in the NFL and in college for a long, long time. They are really lucky to have a coach with that much experience on this college sideline.
Mosley, who has become an effective ball carrier here in the second half, carries a first down, and the Falcons now, with the Racers with only one timeout remaining, are nailing the coffin.
Well, there's a lot of the play count is starting to mount up for the racer defense. They're getting tired. Guys are bent over. And I tell you right, Bowling Green offensive line, this is what you love, right? Because everybody knows what we're going to do. We're going to run the ball. You're tired. We're not. It's always a lot tougher to play defense. Takes a lot more energy. And the guys in that burnt orange, they're just teeing off right now.
3-score lead in the game. And that payoff that head coach Scott Loeffler was hoping for is going to happen.
It's funny.
Namely a victory.
Yeah, it's funny when you win.
Third and final timeout, Murray State. 30 seconds.
The post-game meal tastes better. Your dog is a little more friendlier, right? Your waistline's a little better. You look a little better in your clothes when you win. Like everything gets a little better after you win the game. But this is what they needed. We talked about confirming the validity. Now their young players can now see a film where, okay, if I do it the way coach is asking, we can actually win the ball game. So now I'm confident. The key now for this young team is how do you come back and practice after a win, right? That's the next lesson. We talk about the process.
I would think a little hop in your step might.
You would think
be
that
appropriate,
You would think that, but I've been on teams with young players. Sometimes in a situation like this, they come back and practice like they got it made. Oh, now we got it. We don't have to practice hard. We don't have to execute. We're good now, coach. No. It's going to be very important that Bowling Green come back and practice with the effort they talked about that went on this week, the intensity, the attention to detail, because that's what got you to win, right? And if you go back to the other habits of bad practicing, you'll follow this win with a loss. And so that's the next step in the maturation of this team. Can we come back and practice and execute all week like we did leading into this game to give ourselves the best chance to win on Saturday?
Well, I think all Loeffler and the coordinators have to do is show them the film of Minnesota, which went to Boulder today and shut out Colorado 30-0.
Yeah.
That's the next opponent, by the way, up in Minneapolis next Saturday.
Well, that might scare them.
Yeah. Don't see a whole lot of shutouts in college football. That was one right there.
Well, P.J. Fleck is certainly a terrific coach, still relatively young. He's from the MAC.
Oh, yes, he is.
Right, and he was one of the hot young coaches.
Successful at Western.
That's no question about it, and he's building a culture there in Minnesota. And he's a really, really good recruiter. The talent level has gone up since he's been there. And so I think long-term, Minnesota's on the come.
Rewarded with an opening game with Ohio State, of all people, but played very competitive. Matt Naranjo, number 90, on to punt the ball away. And the bounce is a good one for Bowling Green. That is a punt of 49 yards and no return. There are some pretty good paydays coming up for both of these programs. And usually when you play an FBS team, there are 6 figures involved in that payday, maybe 7. Murray State will be in Lubbock against Texas Tech next year, then Louisville in 2023. Kentucky and Missouri, both from the SEC in 24, and then the Cats in 27 at Commonwealth Stadium.
As this team gets better, those are some games that aren't necessarily against super powerhouse teams. I'm not saying they can win any of them, but certainly being competitive and trying to take the game into the fourth quarter would be a very good goal for all of those opponents.
And there are areas, minus Texas Tech, where you can probably get in the car and go watch some football if you're a fan of Murray State.
That's right. How about the Wadzala coming in and getting the sack and feeling good about it?
Good for him.
Right?
Huh?
I mean, this is when you get the backup players in who've worked hard, worked their tail off, usually on the look squad, and then they get an opportunity to hit somebody on the other side, and that gets the entire sideline fired up.
Rice got 15 yards on that play. It'll be 3rd and 2. Bell with a catch. Could have been a factor today, but they shut him down. Out of the backfield. Safe pass, first down. Good hit there, too, by the Falcons at the 25, and the clock continues to move. Actually, it'll be restarted here in a moment as it stops with the first down. Rice with plenty of time's got a man. That's Honeycutt at the 50. Good throw, good catch.
Yeah, it's a deep dig route against what looks to be the backup secondary of Bowling Green. And nice throw, really good hands catch right there.
Good chance for Bowling Green to play a lot of people today. That's always important with youth. Now Rice flushed out. Going to throw at the last moment. And has the first down. Pending spot, at the 40.
Look, if you're Murray State, you just don't want to put any bad ball on film. If you're still out there, I need the effort high. We're trying to build something here. There's going to be better days ahead because I guarantee you there aren't many opponents that are going to walk out with this sort of talent, FBS talent on the field. They'll be fine, trust me.
Going for 6 here is Rice against Honeycutt. Flag on the play. It'll be pass interference as Malik Honeycutt drew single coverage.
Unless I missed something, that might be offensive pass interference.
Okay. I may have misspoke here.
Well, no, it's going to be pass interference in my opinion.
Pass interference. Defense, number 13. That 15-yard penalty is enforced from the previous spot.
But you're not sure you're in agreement.
Well, and I know Coach Leffler isn't. Look at him. I mean, he's beside himself. And from what I saw, he's got good reason. That's not a foul right there. That to me, that right hand, okay, by the defender, that should not be called. And that happens every single play. I think that is either a play on or offensive pass interference.
Now Rice to keep and wisely out of bounds to stop clock with 1:27 left.
It is so hard to play defense nowadays with all the rules set up for the offense. I know I sound like a defensive guy, right?
You're so biased, man.
I know it. Hey, listen, but it's true. I mean, you've heard Tom Brady talk about how hard it is to play defense with the current rules in the National Football League. It is tough, man. I mean, you can't touch the receiver. You can't hit the quarterback too hard. And I mean,
can't breathe on him, right?
It's really tough. I mean, it is set up for offensive play. And so you just got to figure out what they're going to call and adjust to it.
From the 21, Rice again flushing out and throwing. Is that a catch? No. And Rice has had some room to run the football as well. You wonder if he's going to tuck it and go on one of these plays.
It hasn't been his day. I mean, let's just be honest. He's a guy we featured early because he's a playmaker, and he still is. He'll be fine, and they'll be fine as a team. But this has not been their best day. The question is, when they watch the film, what can they learn from it, and how quickly can they move on? You cannot allow an opportunity like this that you missed linger in the next week because then you'll be licking your wounds as well.
Held serve until the second half when Bowling Green took command. It is 3rd and 6, no timeouts left. Rice looking for the first down wisely, and is going to be about a yard short, maybe 2. So now it is 4th down. Rice could call his own number on this play. Needs to pick up a yard. He's got a receiver and the ball is dropped. He threw a laser to Honeycutt, and that's going to do it. With the Racers out of timeouts, the Falcons will now bleed out the clock and celebrate. You haven't seen this in a while, huh?
You haven't. And this play is emblematic of the type of day it's been for the Racers. Almost. Not quite. Slant route, ball where it needs to be, and you just didn't execute it. I mean, that's a play that he makes in practice, I guarantee you, with his eyes closed. That sort of route, that basic route is what they do warming up, and he just couldn't make it happen when it counted.
Think about it, such a youthful offensive line. They probably had to teach them the victory formation, don't you think?
Right.
All right, guys, this is where we kneel down. And Scott Leffler and the Bowling Green coaching staff, as he says, good job on the sidelines. We'll get to enjoy tonight. His 4th win since becoming a Bowling Green head coach. Time for one more snap. And Leffler earlier in the week said, I want to hear that fight song from our guys. So let's get the voices going, guys.
Right. And the crowd's letting them hear it. Homecoming win. It's got to feel good right now for the guys in the dark jerseys.
ESPN's Lee Corso said you always got to win your homecoming game.
That's right.
Among other things.
That's exactly right.
Good effort, though, by Murray State. Just ran out of bodies down the stretch.
Well, and also they didn't do a great job of helping themselves when it mattered. This is going to be a teachable moment for learning how to win a road game against a quality opponent. You can't go on a road and beat yourself with mistakes, drop balls, penalties, unforced errors, and get a win. It just doesn't happen that way, and so they'll learn that. However, I will say, I expect this team to make a tremendous amount of hay, not only in the OVC, but in the FCS playoffs. This is going to be a very good football team come November. Trust and believe that.
10-game losing streak comes to an end for Bowling Green, dating back to November of 2019. They're going to enjoy this one tonight. Probably a homecoming party or two to attend, I would think.
You think? But again, the key for this now, for Bowling Green, enjoy it tonight. But after tonight, move on. Don't allow this sugar high to continue because there's work to be done going forward. You haven't even got the conference play yet. Learn how to win and learn how to practice and prepare after the win.
And a tough opponent in Minnesota awaits next week in Minneapolis. Congratulations to the Falcons for the win today. And in the meantime, Murray State regroups with a week off and prepares for Eastern Illinois in 2 weeks. We'll enjoy Kalamazoo and that hot Western Michigan team next week. Huh?
Yes, sir. Coming off that win against Pitt.
For Tyoka Jackson, I'm Jim Barber. We thank you for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. The final 27-10 Falcons over the Racers.
Hey, Neil, with 3% cash back at drugstores from Chase Freedom Unlimited, you're always earning. I got this great shampoo you should try.